Welcome to the third and final video for Lesson 8. In this video, we will walk through an example of using the quantitative value model to determine the total value of a candidate solution to a systems decision problem. In this example, we're considering the system of an MRE. Here you see a qualitative value model for an MRE. The fundamental objective is to provide sustenance to the soldiers. The functions are to provide energy, provide protein, reduce hunger, and increase morale. Each function has the objective or objectives shown beneath it. And finally, the value measures are total carbohydrates measured in grams, where more is better, total protein measured in grams, where more is better, total calories measured in number of calories, where more is better, satisfaction rating measured as a rating scale from 1 to 5, where more is better, and weight measured in kilograms, where less is better. Here you can see the value functions for each of the value measures. There are several things to notice about the functions. First, the value function for satisfaction rating is a discrete function rather than a continuous function. That is, it only has values for the possible ratings that soldiers can give the meal. You'll find a mix of discrete and continuous value measures in practice. Second, notice that you can tell the minimum acceptable value for each of the functions. For example, for total carbohydrates, a meal must provide at least 150 grams of carbohydrates. If not, that meal would not be a feasible solution for this problem. For total weight, a meal must weigh less than 0.75 kilograms. Third, you can also tell the ideal value for each value measure. Since 300 grams of carbohydrates corresponds to a value of 100 on its graph, the ideal value would be 300 or more. If a meal had 350 grams of carbohydrates, for example, it would still only score 100 on the value scale. We'll use these functions to determine the value scores on each value measure for a candidate solution. We now assign swing weights to the different value measures. Calories and carbohydrates have the highest level of importance according to the stakeholders. Satisfaction rating and weight have medium importance, and protein has low importance. Combining those with appropriate variations in range, we assign values of 100 for total calories, 80 for satisfaction rating, 60 for weight, 60 for total carbohydrates, and 30 for total protein. Note that the values decrease as you move down a column or to the right in a row. Here you see those same swing weights in a table format. Adding up all of the swing weights, we get a total of 330. Then on the right, we have the result if we divide the swing weight by 330. These values are the global weights for the value measures. And as a check on accuracy, we can sum the column on the right and find that that sum is 1. Now we are ready to use our value model to evaluate a candidate solution. We'll use the chicken fajita MRE as candidate solution 1. The raw data for each of the value measures is shown. 200 grams of carbohydrates, 35 grams of protein, 900 calories, a satisfaction rating of 2, and a total weight of 0.7 kilograms. We can now use the value functions to find the value scores for the chicken fajita MRE on each value measure. For total carbohydrates, we find 200 on the horizontal scale and see that it corresponds to 32 on the vertical axis. For total protein, 35 grams corresponds to a value score of 60. For total calories, 900 calories corresponds to a value score of 28. For soldier satisfaction, a rating of 2 gives a value score of 25. And for total weight, a weight of 0.7 kilograms corresponds to a value score of 18. Using these value scores along with the global weights that we determined previously and that are shown here, we can multiply each value score by the corresponding global weight, and then we add all of those results together, which is what this equation shows. In the first term, you see the weight for carbs here and the value score for carbs here. In the second term, you have the weight and score for total protein. Total calories is here, soldier satisfaction is here, and weight is here. This leads us to a total value for the chicken fajita MRE of 29.1. We can now use this model to evaluate other MREs as alternative solutions, and we could compare them using their total value scores. That concludes the asynchronous portion of today's lesson. We'll give you more practice and more tools during the synchronous portion. All systems go.